This this is a guided reading on building your knowledge hurricane formation and the Weather and Climate Systems Unit. Hurricane formation. Hurricanes form in tropical regions with warm water and warm, moist air. How do hurricanes form? When tropical waters heat up to about 80.6 degrees Fahrenheit, not just at the surface, but also to a depth of about 50 meters, a hurricane can develop. Other factors that contribute to hurricane formation are a cool atmosphere, a still ocean surface, the absence of winds, which allows the clouds to climb through the atmosphere, and a location of at least 311 miles from the equator, where the Coriolis forces begin to deflect winds. So write in the margins hurricane formation. Hurricanes form in tropical regions with warm water and warm, moist air. So that was telling us where they form. Now, how do they form? They form when the water heats up to 80.6 degrees Fahrenheit to a depth of about 50 meters. In the margin, I want you to write other factors, and then I want you to write a 1 next to a cool atmosphere, a 2 next to a still ocean surface, a 3 next to the absence of winds, and 4, a location that is 311 miles from the equator. These 4 other factors also help contribute to the formation of hurricanes. As you can tell, hurricanes cannot form just anywhere at any time. Rather, hurricanes form in similar places and travel similar paths year after year. Most hurricanes in the Atlantic Ocean have their origin in the easterly winds blowing off the coast of Africa. As the ocean heats up, the warm surface water evaporates and the warm water vapor rises. When the vapor reaches the high, cooler atmosphere, it condenses to form storm clouds and raindrops. The condensation process releases a great deal of heat, which warms the cooler air above, creating a large convection cycle. The same process of water warming and evaporating, followed by water vapor rising, condensing, and releasing heat, continues, building clouds around a core of low pressure. This structure can produce spinning that characterizes a hurricane. So this paragraph has a whole bunch of information, so let's break it down. The first piece they're talking about is in the Atlantic Ocean, hurricanes are forming off the coast of Africa. And so we can look at the coast of Africa and start looking at developing storms. Another part of this paragraph was looking at the process of evaporation and condensation, and that those warm ocean water that evaporates, it reaches a cool atmosphere, condenses, and forms storm clouds. And when these storm clouds form, the process of condensation is actually releasing heat to the atmosphere. This creates large convection cells that play a role in hurricanes. Earth's rotation helps maintain a low pressure in the middle of the storm. In the northern hemisphere, the hurricane circulates in a counterclockwise pattern. The calm, low-pressure center of a hurricane is called its eye. Some hurricanes may have more than one calm center of low pressure, but they always have a main eye. The area on the outside of the eye is known as the eye wall. Due to the low pressure and the narrow diameter of the storm in the eye, the winds there spin faster than at the outside of the storm. When the pressure in the hurricane drops, its intensity increases. If the pressure drops suddenly, the hurricane quickly becomes a very dangerous storm. Hurricanes also tend to be very large storms, hundreds of kilometers across. That means that they make landfall, they strike quite a bit of land at once. So this paragraph is also packed with information. One piece of information I want you to note, that hurricanes in the northern hemisphere circulate in a counterclockwise pattern. So it's going to look something like this. They're going to turn to their left. Another thing to note is that the center of the storm is called the eye, and this is the very, very lowest pressure that you're going to find inside of a hurricane. All right, so if you take a look at the image over here, this little circle right there and right here, that's called the eye. Another point they made is they showed you where the eye wall was. That's the wall around the eye. The wall around the center is called the eye wall. And this is where the heaviest winds are. So if you go back to the picture, I can actually trace the eye. This little, where you traced it right there, this little edge is called the eye wall. And right here is the eye, the actual circle itself, right inside there. This concludes the hurricane formation reading for Weather and Climate Systems Unit.